Okay, I just got done doing the other head here. Got a nice matching one to match the other one. Well, it's front and rear at least. A little color different, nobody's gonna notice that. Alright, so this is the one I just did. This is the one that someone else did. So they're very similar how they're done. Theirs is just a little deeper looking, but I think that's because they're off to the one side. They're probably about the same depth. Yeah, mine looks a little bit higher. Yeah, they look like they're almost the same height as the spark plug hole. I'm definitely higher than my plug hole, so I might be a little bit higher up. And I thought I could pull it up even a little bit more than that. So. Alright, so that's what I was. I want to come out on the other side. Okay, I tried to cheat the hole over as much as I could to the other side. Get our calipers here. Yep, about the same distance. So you definitely get closer with the way I do it. The oddball one, but for the amount of effort, I don't think it's worth it. Stock one does what it's going to do. It is a little bit further away, so overall I think there's more valve seat thickness to it their way than my way. So I think that's the difference. So this one here, actually I see very little gain difference. Let's get that out of my way. See, this is not the one I did. This is the one I did. And these are actually the same head here. They're both rears. I think I should use my scale, do the same difference. So there's the one I did my way. There's one did Jim's way. There's very little difference. That's probably like 20 thousandths is what we're talking about here. Definitely not enough to make any difference in the real world. Different in height. I think mine, this one's a little bit taller, higher than this one is, I think. This one's pretty flush. This one's definitely higher up on that side. So yeah, they're pretty close. Yeah. So I think this one's going to be slightly better than this one overall. They're always tight going the first time. Chips and oil and stuff are in there. And the washer's showing me now, as far as it wants to go on. So you can definitely tell this is further in at a different angle than this one. These two are almost the same angle, versus this one is definitely tilted up. Once again, I don't think it really matters because who's going to notice the difference? So, very, very little differences. So the only thing that really matters here is what's the thickness of the head, I guess. On the other side, that one over there was about a little over 200 probably. Didn't really have a good way of measuring it. I think I got some different tools over here I'm going to try to use this time. Let's see, put that over there. Alright, so the dimension we're worrying about right now is how much thickness do we have between the depth of this small cut, basically we care about. That tells us the thickness of the head, because you got the big cut underneath it that you can't see. So they don't want you to be under 200 thou. So I'm going to put this on the back side of the hole and do it as a depth stop and pull it out and see what we got. It's the only way we can do this. I don't have any way of doing a real measurement. Okay, so then we'll go in there. First problem won't go in the hole. This one any better? Not really. Alright. We need a smaller drill bit because this one isn't working. Luckily we have more drill bits over there. First thing I do is figure out what size this really is. Is it 50 or 60? It's a 16th, 62 thou. So what I need is something that's under 62 thou. So what do we got here? It's under 62. We have 59. How about that? Right there. That's why you have a drill index. You pick out the ones you want. See? Let's see if we got the right one this time. Yeah, it goes in and out. Good deal. Okay, that's bottomed out height. That's quite a bit. That's close to 400 deep. If that's accurate, actually what I got. Never trust one measurement. Hard stop. Yeah, pretty close to 400. Pretty thick. Okay, let's see what we get on this one. A lot less. 300. 100 thou difference. That's a lot of change. That's a big difference. It's about the same. Yeah, right about 3, might be slightly under. So that tells me right there, use the gems tool, not the modified, because that's 100 thou more thickness. That's a huge difference. That's a night and day difference there. We're not seeing that from the other side. It looks fairly close on the other side, but can't go wrong with this measurement. Okay, let's see what we got on this one. Now this is the one I didn't do. This one looks like it was deeper than mine. So it should be thinner on this side. Ooh, yeah. That's why I do it. Yeah, barely over 200, 225. That's what I thought I had before. Same deal, get 2 measurements. If your numbers don't repeat, you're not accurate. Pretty bad. Yep, right there at about 220 again. So we got 220 on the one they did, using Jim's tool. We got 300, 280 to 300 on my head, or using my modified way of doing it. And using the Jim's tool the correct way, we got 400 thou thick. Now there might be some different calcium thicknesses, there's always a variable. Without doing some more heads, I won't really know. Now this is the front head and this is the rear heads, or vice versa, whichever one it is. No, these are both rear, so it's the same thing. So that's an AA test, not an AB test. This is B test here, because that's the other head. That's an AA. Same thing. Same ear, same everything. So there you go. So big difference in how that's done. This one's pretty thin. It's right at the limit. Too thin. Mine's nice and thick. So, and I thought I went too deep. I can probably, like I said, I'm going to pull that up probably about 20 to 30 thou, I think. But you can definitely see that this is thicker than this side. This one here is pretty close. This one here is noticeably different. And they have about the same everything else. So, alright, so we're going to stay with the Jim's way. So, we'll leave it at that. I am using a strap tool in the back of the tool to make sure it's good and square and tight. I did do that, so I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put these dowel pins back to where they belong. This one here can be deep like that, I don't care. This one here I'm going to push in a lot deeper. And we'll leave them at that, and that's sharp. Don't hit that. And I put this down to low number 390. That's 4.39, or 3.390, excuse me. Right here. It's right at the number, the minimum number they wanted. I cut it at about 340, it was about 440. So I pulled it back quite a bit. That way I'll have to come back and just lightly hit it down deeper. That's the plan anyway. We'll see on the next head how it goes. The misalignment of the tap and the tool, it still binds up the same, whether it was the way I did it or Jim. So the problem is this tool is not holding the tap square. So there's a little bit of an angle to it. So every time you rotate it, it goes in and wobbles like a bent push rod. And that causes a problem with the tap. So I loosened up the bushing over here a little bit to help allow some free play in here. Let it bounce around slightly. But overall, this tool works pretty good. So it does do a pretty good job. So it is nice. So there you go. A new thing I do. Compression releases. Whoopee. Next thing I do is say make it work on an Evo. That's the one I really want to do it on. So this head here is going to be the guinea pig, I guess, because I don't have any junk ones laying around anymore. So we're going to stick that in there. We're going to drill some holes in here. But we're not going to do it tonight. It is time to get out of here. We are at 1:30 over there. So it is time to go home. Alright, that's it for tonight.